Welcome to the Freedom in 5 Minutes podcast, the podcast where we make 5-minute decisions that can change your business, your relationships, and your life. Hey, this is Dean Soto, founder of Prosulum.com, Prosulum.com, and we're here again with another Freedom in 5 Minutes podcast. Today's episode is this. Take some time to be here right now. That and more coming up. All right, cool. I just thought of that episode literally right before I said it. I'm like, what am I going to talk about? I literally have no idea what I'm going to talk about. But I know now. I know exactly what we're going to be talking about today. This might actually be a Freedom in 5 Minutes podcast in the sense of it might be 5 minutes. We'll see, because I have some things to do and I need to get all those things done. Anyway, today's Sunday. Today is family day. Totally 100% devoted to the family. It's something that has been extremely difficult for me to do in the past, but now it's still extremely difficult. However, today was pretty dang cool. So, it was interesting. So, for those who are just listening, I have about 20 acres where I'm at, and there is about 5 acres fenced in. And about maybe half of those 5 acres, I have to weed whack because there is basically a thing here in the country where I'm at, where it's a heavy brush fire area where the fire department says you have to, within 100 feet, have a certain height of weeds. There is no grass here. For the most part, there really is no grass here. It is this kind of wild grass or these weeds, and you have to cut them down to a certain height. Now, the reason why you cut them down to a certain height is because when there is a brush fire, the higher that the actual brush is, these weeds, the more easily it jumps from one thing to the next, to the next, to the next, to the next, to the next. And so that's why you see these massive fires, because there's all of this just dry brush, this dry weeds that just, they catch fire so fast, and they literally just throw fire. They throw fire all over the place. And so you don't want to have it where it's that high. And right now I've actually been burning these big burn piles, and next to it are these just very small, already weed whacked weeds, this grass that when it lights on fire, it does start moving. However, it kind of crawls along the ground, and often it'll just extinguish itself. It'll crawl along the ground, but you can see how, just from looking at it, you can see how easily these fires can go out of control. And so I've been doing that for the last couple of days, and today was the last day for that. Last day for doing all the weed whacking and so on for this. I finished it all up. So that was a big part of the day, and it's cool because as I'm doing this, I'm being totally 100% present to the now, 100% present to the now, which led to the next thing, which was after that was all done, I got the kids, and we were on our driveway, pretty big driveway, and they started riding on their bikes, and half of their bikes' tires were flat. And so from there, I ended up getting their tires unflattened, or pumping them up, I should say, just pumping those tires up. And we had a blast. We started doing that. I was trimming a whole bunch of things. We were having fun as a family. I was getting them all involved in a whole bunch of different things. And we had the music bumping outside. My neighbors are extremely far away, and so we can bump the music as loud as we want, and nobody's going to care. And we were just having a blast as a family, being totally present. Then after that, we end up going inside. Our church gave us this statue of Mary, the statue of Mary from Fatima, and it's kind of like a traveling Mary, and And we have her for this week, and my daughters set up this thing with roses around and so on and so forth. And we ended up praying, talking about Bible stories, talking about Jesus, talking about all these different things, and playing music and having a blast as a family. Then right after that, we had a talent show where some of my kids were playing piano, some were showing off their martial arts skills, some were doing dances and gymnastics. Then from there, we had, actually prior to that, we had dinner as a family. We had lunch breakfast as a family, dinner as a family. Then after all the talent shows and prayers and stuff, it was about 9:00 at night. We went and had s'mores outside in our fire pit. The whole time, it was totally 100% in the now. 100% in the now, 100% present with the family. Something that was very, very, very hard for me to do for a very long time. To the point where I literally could not be with my family and not be thinking about work at all. Not be thinking about customers, not be thinking about anything. And we had the most amazing time, 100% quality time with each other. And that all came from a decision the day prior, actually, to make this day 100% 100% for the family. To the point where I'm still having to do some of my wake up warrior stuff for the day that I normally do. So what does that mean? What's the whole purpose of this? Why am I saying this? A big part of being effective in life is being able to be fully 100% present to the now. Your family just wants you to be present. Your kids just want you to be present. Your wife, your husband wants you to be present. And that's it. They don't want much. Nobody wants much. They just want you to be engaged. And the more that you can be engaged like that, the more love, the more excitement, and the more connection you'll have with your family and with other people. So what's the one thing that you can do this week where you can be totally 100% present? Even if it's 100% present to your employees, to your clients, to your boss, to whatever it is. What's the one time you can be totally 100% present? By being 100% here and now, the only thing you can actually control is that being here and now. By doing that, you're going to see amazing, amazing things happen. So what's the one thing you can do this week, within the next 48 hours, to be 100% present to somebody that you care about or someone who's important to you? All right, this is Dean Soto, Freedom in 5 Minutes. If you have not subscribed on iTunes, go check that out, Freedom in 5 Minutes. We're also on Spotify, Stitcher, and Google Play. If you have not left a review yet, if you like what you've heard, please leave a review on iTunes, and it helps to make these things happen even more. All right, this is Dean Soto. I will see you in the next Freedom in 5 Minutes podcast episode.